everyone, coming to you guys again on the same trail in Seattle where we just had interviewed Dimitri for Master of Code. So we have Gleb here, VP of Engineering, and we're going to continue to roll with the questions around what is in store for 2020 when it comes to conversational AI, and specifically talking about messaging channels. So we heard a lot of talk this year about, GoogleRCS, RBM, Apple Business Chat. So why don't you tell us about those channels and why are they important for brands to consider moving into the next year here?
Like a year and 2 years ago, it was like a lot of hype around social messaging channels, like WhatsApp, like Facebook Messenger. But nowadays, with all these privacy concerns, regulations, it's hard to rely on fully for companies. That is why companies like looking backward to something more classical like SMS, but SMS lacks this UI components, rich components like quick replies, like carousels. That is why Apple Business Chat, Google RBM, RCS worth attention of these companies. And I can add that it's hard to rely on fully proprietary company-owned technologies. That is why RCS is an open standard. Google had a lot of attempts go to messaging, and this time they go it with telco operators and make RCS open standard. That is why it's has a good potential.
Absolutely. So what you're saying is that, what we're going to get on sort of more traditional channels is, number one, they're owned channels for brands, right? So you're not sort of bestowed to regulations or less regulations, albeit, than something like a Facebook Messenger or WhatsApp. And then secondly, I think the point you're making too is we're going to be getting more interactive elements, galleries, buttons, sliders inside these experiences just to make them more engaging and just easier to utilize from an end consumer standpoint. So along the same lines of this conversation, we keep hearing within close proximity of talk about messaging channels is this notion about conversational commerce. This is buzzword. If you're in the space, if you're looking at the space, you probably hear this many times from a lot of different vendors, but as far as I can see, I don't really think it's come to fruition quite yet. So why do you think, or maybe you don't think, that this will sort of become more evident moving into 2020?
Yeah, it has a lot of potential in 2020, and maybe the main components for conversation commerce, the first, channels should be trusted by people. Second, it should have a set of UI elements that you mentioned, like quick replies, and sure, easy payment methods. And a good example of it is the Apple Business Chat. First of all, it's trusted channel. It's the same SMS app you're using day to day from your iPhone, and it has Apple Pay. Apple Pay, it's not something invented just for Messenger. It's something that people use on a daily basis in their offline stores, actually. And having all these components together makes this user journey with the conversation commerce fully smooth.
Absolutely. So it sounds like we may in fact get this end-to-end experience, customer experience, where it's just like moving from talking to a customer in a conversational sort of AI experience to actually transacting all in one go. I think that it's a really cool potential that I think many brands, there's just a considerable amount of upside to be able to interact with a brand, facilitate a relationship, and then make a purchase, whether it be Apple Pay, it sounds like, or Google Wallet. So it sounds like there's a lot of exciting stuff in store, messaging channels, conversational commerce. We will see you guys again in the next one. Take it easy.
Thank you.